Hey guys, I'm back and I wanted to share something today that I think will be really helpful, and it's a topic that we all deal with as a coach, but often in coaching we really see everybody's highlight reel and we don't really see the behind the scenes stuff that actually happens. And the one thing I want to really talk about is the big F word, failure. Dealing with failure, coping with failure, and pushing on despite it. So the first thing that you need to realize when it comes to coaching and failing is that it's an expectation. You're not going to be a successful coach and not face failure. In fact, if you're failing, you're really doing something right. So you just have to embrace it and understand that it's going to be a huge part of your coaching journey. Much like life, much like our fitness, we all fail. It's what we do when faced with that failure. And I'm going to share a little bit of a personal story. So maybe you've heard this already, but maybe you have not. When I first started coaching, I was a brand new coach and super, super excited to get out and share what I had to offer to everyone. I was geeked with the way I felt. I knew I had to share that with people. So I did the first thing I knew how. I had a challenge group going and I launched a free group. Now, with my free group, I had a lot of success. I had a bunch of people join it, much to my surprise, because most of my free groups have not been so successful ever since then. And I had two girls who were friends join my free group. Now, I didn't know them at all. They were friends of friends kind of a thing, and we really hit it off really well. And I really had a great time in this group. Now, I got a message from one of those girls, and, we just kind of started chatting, and it was amazing. She thanked me for inspiring her, for helping her get up every day and do some workouts, to kind of look at clean eating. And, it was just amazing. She started to share a little bit of her journey with me. And the very first thing I did was instantly jump in and start telling her everything I had done and all about Shakeology and how it would totally help her, because it really would. I was excited. I wanted to help her. I was doing what I knew, and I really was just excited that someone had messaged me and had told me all those things I had wanted to hear, because that was what I was doing as a coach. And what do you guys think happened? Right, the conversation got very awkward and very quiet, and I knew right then and there that I had word vomited all over her and had done the thing that I desperately did not want to do, and that was sound like a salesy Beachbody coach. And so, yes, it went quiet. I didn't message her again. I just kind of let it be. Finished out my clean eating group. Now, about a week and a half later, because we were still friends on Facebook, I scrolled through my newsfeed and I happened upon a post where the two of them were totally making fun of me. I was crushed. I was devastated. Most of all, I was devastated because it absolutely was not who I was. It was not what I intended to do. It was not what I was trying to be. I really am not here to sell people stuff, much like any of us. And I knew it was just because in my excitement, I had rushed. I had gone right into it. I didn't take the time to really get to know her. Now, I looked at that moment and really thought, do I have what it takes? That backlash hurt. It stung. In my moment of excitement, of my big win of having someone message me, I turned around and not only did I not get a good message back from her, but I got flat out made fun of. I mean, like, made fun of, you guys. And I easily could have said at that moment, peace out. I'm throwing in the towel. This is just not enough. So fast forward, I continued. I pulled up my big girl panties and I continued going forward because I knew I had people to help. And then I became, after 5 months of coaching, a diamond coach. I started coaching, and what started to happen is one of my emeralds fell apart. She was going to quit, and I had coaches going inactive, and I was trying to build my team, and I had people falling off. And I literally had that moment where I stopped and I thought, I kind of just really want to quit. Is this worth it? Is it really, really worth it? And you know what, guys? I really had to stop and take a moment, because you know what? The people in life that are successful, they are not successful because some person came along and said, hey, guess what? I have this amazing opportunity for you. It's going to be so easy. I'm just going to write a list. You do absolutely every single thing, and you're going to create all your dreams and the life of freedom and living life by design. You can retire your husband. I'm going to just give that to you. Here you go. That's not life. That doesn't happen. The people in the world that create the life that they desire and they've dreamed of, they do it because they worked hard. And I really had that moment where I had to stop and think about failure. What was failure? What did I define as failure? Because reality is, what I was considering failure really was not failure whatsoever. Was failing that I had someone make fun of me? Not really, because truthfully, when I looked back on that, I really knew what I had done wrong, and I could get why they felt that way. And it really was a huge learning experience for me. It changed how I approach people and how I talk to people, because I don't want that to happen again. Watching coaches cancel or coaches go inactive or emeralds fall apart. The reality is in this business is not everybody is going to see that vision. But there are so many people in this world that absolutely desperately need our help. And there are so many like-minded people that see the potential in this business and they get it and they need for you to keep going and reach out to them. That for me was the moment where I just really realized that I could treat this like a business. And I don't get to go to a job every day, and when my day is really hard or my boss says something I don't like, or I have a phone call that's very negative, I don't get the option at my job to say, you know what, done, don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't have time for this. I just don't want to deal with it, because it's our job. We can't just walk out. And the truth is there are so many parallels between coaching and our fitness journey. And so often when we start coaching, we don't see that. So in our fitness journey, what happens when we hit a plateau? What happens when we're frustrated because the scale isn't moving, or our clothes aren't fitting right, or we're really struggling with junk food cravings, or we've had a bad cheat meal, or we went on vacation and we're struggling to get that motivation back? What do we tell our customers? Do we tell them, you know, you're right, you should probably just quit, just stop, like it's not working, just bow out, it's cool? Of course we don't. What do we say? What do we know? We know in fitness that it's not a destination, it is a journey. That your chapter 20 is not going to be the same as chapter 1 for somebody else. That somebody's highlight reel is not reality. We know that to get six-pack abs, you're going to work pretty darn hard for that. We know that it's not what you do every one day, it's what you do every one day multiplied by 50, 60, 70, 90 days. When we're frustrated, when we've hit that plateau, we tell our clients, right? Keep going. It's not if you fail, because you're gonna fail, but you just pick up and you just keep trying, and what you do and where you end up in 3 weeks, in a month, in 2 months, that's where it is. That's what happens, right? Now, as coaches, I want you guys to really stop and put that parallel in place. Your coaching journey is no different than your fitness journey, but so often we don't combine them because they feel so separate. But the truth is, what you do today, how often you fail, is not indicative of whatsoever of what your coaching journey is going to look like. The more you fail, I promise you, the better you're going to get. The more you turn around and you pick back up and you just do your best and you come back at it and you see the big picture and you realize that this is not freedom created in a day. I've been coaching for 18 months, you guys, a year and a half. It's taken me a year to create a full-time income. I am not a coach that built a team the fastest. I can look at other people's highlight reels and really beat myself up for not being there too. But what you do every single day is absolutely where you will end up. You're gonna have failure. Embrace that failure. Stop and focus on the wins and know that that's a normal part of what we do as a coach. I have no doubt that if you stop and look at this as a journey and not a destination, and you stop and think about where you'll be in a year and not tomorrow, you're going to see a heck of a lot more success, and you're going to be able to handle those discouragements a heck of a lot better. Because trust me, we have them. It's not going to go away, but it's what you do to deal with them that's going to absolutely affect your future. So I hope that helps.